All right. Hey, everybody. If you've been telling your family and relatives about crypto around Thanksgiving when you meet them, you're about to have to eat a massive pile of crow for Thanksgiving.
I know I was reading an article earlier and it said if you have told your family members to buy crypto throughout the years and at family events, be prepared to answer questions this Thanksgiving.
Well, the problem is they probably didn't buy it when you brought it up to them. They waited till it started to skyrocket.
Get too high.
And they bought it and it came down because I totally expect my $10,000 Bitcoin to go to 1,000, just like I would think my 100,000 Bitcoin would go to 10,000. It is a volatile market. Just get ready for that. That's why I only talk about 1%, and we're gonna have to have that conversation with some people.
He's going to have that conversation because this girl was not as on board
But the
with the
good
crypto.
news is I never told anybody to buy it. I said, hey, take a look at it. It could be the future, just like I do on the channel,
Though I have to confess, I have lately started stepping up and saying I can see XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, a few things like that. I can. So anyway, we'll see what happens, but it should be interesting. So if you're one of those family members, let us know how it goes.
Can you imagine bringing this up 25 years ago about the internet? Hey, the internet's going to change everything.
Sure.
And people will probably be like, oh, whatever, you're just crazy. You're just what? And here we are. So it could be like that, or it could be just a bunch of nothing. If you only have 1% of your wealth in it, so what? If you got more than that, you're a crazy gambler. But we have some stuff about real estate that I want to bring up. I got this off of Bloomberg. I was running it past Stacey earlier, and we're actually very thankful that we sold our rental properties.
We did keep one. We
kept one, but we sold, we took profits, and we paid one off. So the whole thing for me was we've got a really good track record. We haven't missed a rent.
Well, we've been very fortunate and blessed.
We have been very fortunate and blessed, but we also vetted them like crazy, and it took us 2 or 3 months to get a renter, but we never missed a rent. They were like family to us. Yes. You actually took your shoes off before you went into my rental properties. They really cared for their house.
Well, we got to know them. They weren't just...
They're good people.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, we are very thankful. We did keep one. I want to talk about that a little bit later when we talk about lending and stuff. So let's talk about the real estate, though. I kind of want to divide it into two separate areas. One, I want to talk about residential real estate, where it's a home that's already currently has someone living in it. And then I want to talk about these brand new homes that are being built. And let's start there first, because this is a little interesting. We saw this back in 2008, and we're seeing some of the trends again with some of the builders.
I didn't know what I was looking at in 2008. But
let's give some of the stats.
I do. Yeah, I got them right here. But this is starting to unfold. Now, I'm going to give you something. This is off of Bloomberg, so check it out. Home prices are still high as interest rates keep going up. Spec homes are starting to pile up. We're starting to enter a place where housing is starting to crash. And I had a video today with Jack, and he said, some people were saying that it wasn't going to go down, and they've been right. No, right now they're wrong. It is absolutely crashing in front of our eyes. 89% of builders are planning slow starts because people are starting to not be able to buy them.
Right.
It's very weird. There will be a mismatch in respect to affordability, meaning we might have people that could have bought. People still want that $500,000 or $600,000 house.
Well, they could have bought 6 months ago, but now because of the delay, prices are going up of materials. And some materials, some are not. I mean, you guys, in your area, there's different prices. But appliances, some of that stuff's going up. They're getting delayed because they can't get that kind of stuff. Windows are going up in prices. We did a video about that. Then by the time they close, interest rates are going up. So personally, I had people call me when they were buying precious metals. Sorry, I just completely interrupted.
No, that's perfect. Go.
But I had people, they have called me, and they have chosen to get out of those deals because, one, by the time what they initially were quoted, which you can't blame the builders, they're just having to pass on the buck to what's getting dealt to them. But by the time the building material and all the appliances and everything, either they had to completely downgrade and get stuff that they didn't want, or they just had to walk. Some people lost their deposits, and they just said, or the interest rate. That's been a big one lately, and I've had several real estate agents actually reach out to me that are dealing with builders, and they've had people. So these builders, another twist on this, these builders typically are working off of loans. They're not cash builders. They have a loan, and usually a lot of times they're ARM loans. So they're sitting there, and if it goes past a certain date, their interest rates are going up. So it's a slippery slope on both ends. It's affecting both parties.
I heard it called a backlog risk.
Okay.
It's 40% of builders are dropping prices. Okay, when builders start dropping prices, what's up, Skippy dog? When builders start dropping prices, they're already in contracts to the people that are buying right now. And what a lot of people don't understand is real estate is so slow. Everything takes so long. It took us like 6 months to buy the first rental property because it was in a short sale.
Yeah, it was.
It was forever dragging on. And that's the way these things are. So when you've got a builder waiting on a window to be installed, or a garage door opener, or any kind of appliance, or cabinets, it's a huge one.
Right. Well, you can't pass an appraisal, so the lender's not going to sign off on it. So they're literally sitting there and they're waiting. And I've talked to them. And we've been blessed. The loans we get don't have to pass an appraisal, so we're able to close a lot of these stuff faster. But these builders, when you're getting a residential home, and then I want to touch on just a little bit. This is something I'm paying attention to. I'm not seeing a lot of stuff out there, but I'd like your opinion and your feedback. I'm having a lot of baby boomers that are reaching retirement age. They're wanting to downsize, and they're selling these homes. We're having a certain area where we live, that a lot of these older homes are going up for sale. People don't really want them. They want something brand new. And I wonder what is going to happen to all these homes. So you think about it. This is another area that I'm starting to watch, and I'm starting to see those homes. I'm passing by. They're sitting there a little longer. I saw two the other day. They'd been vacant for a while. They just put a sign up all the way around it now. Said, "Do not trespass." It looks like it's nearly falling apart now.
Man, see, people don't realize, a lot of people on here do. They lived through 2008.
Right.
But when home prices go from 100,000, say your house is worth 100,000, which you don't get much of a house for that. Let's say it's worth whatever. Let's just go with 100 for easy math. And your neighbor drops their house 10 grand because they've got to move. Something happened and they got to go and it's not moving. That messes everybody up in that neighborhood. It does. Everybody else is trying to sell up here that they probably could.
They could. We've done that to a neighborhood, unfortunately.
Yes, we did.
We did.
We'll have to tell that story some other
Go
time.
ahead. Yeah.
But that house price drops, and then why is that going down? Well, they sold their house so we can drop our price, and then it's like a cascade, boom, 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 boom.
Well, it start affecting the appraisals.
Because some people have to move. That's the problem, is when you have to do something, you just got to get what you can get, and that's going to make a lot of people upside down in these properties.
It very well could. Well, we didn't mean to do it, but we picked up some good deals in one of this little neighborhood, and we lowered the price of the value when we turned around and we got appraisals on them. We're like, why are these appraisals so low? Well, we had done it to ourselves. We picked up like 4 or 5 on that little street.
We essentially dropped the whole neighborhood
did.
values because we picked up 3 or 4 properties in that small neighborhood.
It was 4.
At such a 4 at such a good price. For us, it was a good price, but they were undervalued, and we took advantage of the opportunity, and it took a while to get. It took a while for the neighborhood to build itself back up, and that's what's going to happen now. You're going to start seeing. I got a ton of stuff wrote down here, and if I was in the light, I could see it to read it, but. It doesn't really matter because people are being mismatched with the house they want and the house they can afford now with the interest rates going up.
And some people, just so you know, some people, they're not affected right now. I do get phone calls from people and they're like, Stacey, I'm not seeing it. And I'm like, that is amazing. Their prices are still going up. Their houses are still flying off the market. And they'll say, I see maybe a little bit, but every week it seems like I'm getting calls just a little bit more. Yep, seeing it just a little bit more. And agents. You agents that call and just give me this little bit of tip-bed information, it's great because I know in your market over here, and then you kind of start to see it move across, certain areas. But anyway.
It's the West Coast, the Mountain West, and the Southwest that are getting hammered.
Like
that's the people that do this. Housing goes crazy, everything goes way down. Where we're at's way more of a linear market where it just kind of does this, but it'll go slowly down, and that's the bellwether is the West Coast. So and that's what we're seeing right now.
Well, I always say, I've said for years and years, what I watch in California, and I try to see, okay, if that's happening in California, there's a good chance it'll happen here 6 months later, and that's kind of how I gauge it. But anyway, I want to move on to something else if we're done talking about
Yeah,
that.
let's go. Real estate, look. Real estate is going down. I have no arguments in the comments anymore. It's slow and it's hard to see. And the only reason we can kind of see it, I'm not saying we can have a crystal ball, but we're involved in it. We're watching it. That's why a lot of times I'll tell you, hey, look at this stock if you're interested, buy a little bit. If you're interested, don't do anything. But it keeps you in tune.
It does. And buyers are still trying to buy. We'll see how that works out. Now, I do have a lot of sellers that have dropped out of the market because they cannot go buy that house somewhere else for that same price because prices have gone up and with interest rates. So we'll see how that plays out too. I don't know. It's a very interesting market. You've got little pockets of different things going on all over. But I kind of wanted to touch on 401ks just a minute, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of misconception there.
Well, I think I got to ask a lot of questions.
It's absolutely the biggest scam in human history.
Well, we're not going to go down that.
We're not going to go down there, but just go ahead. I'll fill you in.
Well, I just want to kind of explain a few things because I get asked a lot about 401ks when people call. I am not a 401k expert, just so you know. I have had one in the past. I did learn how to negotiate around it. Pretty much, if you're going to touch your 401k, you got to quit your job. There are a few loopholes that previous clients have found. They've called me and let me know. But for the most part, you have to quit your job if you're going to roll it over, pull it out. Sometimes there's a hardship loan you can take. There are a few loopholes that sometimes you can pull out just with the money you put in, not with the company matched. They will allow you sometime to touch that. You can't pull it out, but you can roll it over into something else. But that is, everybody keeps saying, well, I have a 401k, what do I do? If you're currently working with that company, your options are extremely limited and possibly nothing that you can do. And that's what so completely stinks. I hate it for these guys because you guys call and you're like, man, I lost 125,000. I lost 80,000. I lost 250,000. This is like weekly I'm hearing this. And it stinks to hear that from you guys. So what I would recommend is get a hold of your HR department, ask them, is there any loopholes? Sometimes you can pull out, like I said, the money that you put in, not what the company matched. Sometimes you can do a hardship withdrawal. You'll just have to figure that out. But yeah, you guys, good luck. I'm not an expert at it, but I think there's a misconception that you think your 401k
it's your money,
is your money,
and you can do whatever you want.
Not if you're still employed. Unfortunately,
that's the scam.
That's what stinks, though, because they have put their money in, and they can't touch it.
They want to keep you in the market. That's the whole goal of the 401k, is to keep that money in there. Go, Skippy.
He wants to go explore.
And you can't do anything with it. And I've talked to several people. I got a good friend of mine. He stays with me every Thanksgiving, and he's lost several $1,000s, tens of thousands of dollars in his 401k. And this whole time, this is the hard part, is he's been wanting to roll it over into a self-directed, and a lot of people can. You can roll your 401k over into a self-directed IRA, and then you can invest in precious metals.
Or you can do real estate.
Or buy cattle, or whatever you feel like doing.
All kind of different things. Yeah, right.
And he's not allowed to.
No.
And it's like, well, you're just at the mercy of the market then. And hey, while we're talking about this, there's a lot of people that are coercing people into these pre-33 coins. And if you're into that, so be it. If that's your thing, a collectible coin, do that. But if you're just wanting precious metals, that's a whole different ballgame. There's a lot of people getting forced when they call these people that are recommended by other YouTubers, and you can tell when you get into it. It's do it right now. It's going up. It's a real high pressure thing. We had experience with that the other day. So be real careful when make sure you call around before you do anything like that, because that is, in my opinion, it's like a timeshare thing, and you're never getting that premium back possibly.
Anyway, you guys, everybody that has purchased with us throughout this past year, we do appreciate it. We hope every one of you guys have the most amazing and blessed Thanksgiving. I have been extremely blessed, thanks to all of you guys, getting to talk to you, getting to know you, the people that I've actually got to meet in person, the people that I've met over the phone. So.
And the information that we get. I mean,
It's just the community.
The community that reaches out, and when you're on the phone, it's like you've got the trust thing put away, and you're one of us. You know, you're part of.
No, we're
our
one
family.
of them. We're one of them. They're
that's-
gracious
okay,
enough
that's
to
true.
open up their trust and call us and let us be a part of their lives and tell us what's going on. And I take that. I value that. I value that so much.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed Thanksgiving. And
Absolutely. And
that's all
guys,
I got.
it is all falling apart, but we are going to make the best of it. And we're going to do everything we can to show you what we're doing, and we're going to be completely transparent through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, we want you to have an awesome, awesome evening, and we'll see you in the next one. It should be tomorrow.